friends. Welcome to Story Behind Podcast. This is the show for people who love hearing a good story and who believe the world could use more positivity. We're the team behind GodUpdates and God2, and we hope these weekly short stories will brighten your day.
Young son steps up to help his dad fight cancer at just 9 years old. Written by Michaela Gordoni, read by Julie Provost. It's not every day a 9-year-old is asked to donate stem cells, and when his dad was on the verge of death, that's what young Stephen Monick did. The son saved his dad, who had terminal cancer. It's just amazing, said Stephen's dad, Nick, a 48-year-old anesthesiologist who developed leukemia for the second time in his life. I got a second chance at a second chance just to still be here, because if I didn't have the transplant, things would not be good right now. Stephen was the only possible donor who matched with Nick and was more than willing to help his dad. He became the youngest known stem cell donor at Los Angeles Children's Hospital by doing so. I didn't want him to feel obligated or pressured, Nick recalled, of asking Stephen to get tested. I didn't even tell him that he was basically going to be our last option. We're wondering if he would like to be tested to see if he want to be a potential donor, he asked Stephen. The boy's response, when do we go? Nick was diagnosed with leukemia in 2022. At the time, his brother donated some stem cells. I had a feeling that it would be back. I just didn't know when, Nick said. It's a very aggressive disease, and I've had a few mutations that make the disease even more difficult to treat and more prone to relapse. We follow every clinical protocol, but the disease still manages to come back. So we had a new problem on our hands, said Ronald Paquette, MD, clinical director of the Stem Cell and Bone Marrow Transplant Program at Cedars-Sinai Cancer. How should we treat his cancer a second time around and have a better chance that it doesn't return? While he was looking for a donor, he realized he wasn't ready to leave his family. His wife Danielle, Stephen, and his 6-year-old John. Nick asked his doctor if Stephen could be a potential donor, and his doctor confirmed that he could. There was no other treatment available, Nick explained. Stephen went through several weeks of pre-donation prep. He was placed under general anesthesia, and a catheter was placed in his neck. He stayed in the ICU for over 6 hours while his blood circulated through a centrifuge that pulled out the stem cells. That hour when he was asleep under anesthesia was probably one of the toughest periods of my life, remembers his dad. You just start to question everything. Am I doing the right thing? Thankfully, Stephen says, I wasn't nervous at all. The procedure was a success, and Stephen went home that same night. After 6 days of chemo, Nick received the stem cell transplant. Transplant day is always dramatic, says Dr. Ronald. The patient knows that they cannot survive without the stem cells, and the delivery of the stem cells into their body is like a rebirth. We call that day their stem cell birthday. He spent the next 2 weeks in the hospital recovering. His first time out of the hospital was to visit Stephen at his Little League game. His family was very happy to see him there. I just hope he knows what his actions can do in life. Just helping another person, Nick says, is an amazing feeling. It felt good to help my dad, said Stephen, who calls his dad his best friend. It felt good to have him home. It can take over a year to know whether the stem cells will offer permanent help to Nick's immune system. I'm just glad that I get to be around and watch them grow up, says Nick, who's looking forward to watching the Cubs play in Chicago's Wrigley Field with his kids. Not all heroes wear capes, Nick said. Mine didn't wear a cape. Mine put on a hospital gown and donated 6 million stem cells to me. Now, Nick is happy to be able to enjoy time with his family and play ball with Stephen. What a blessed family they are. God willing, Nick will have many more happy years with them, thanks to Stephen.
Did you know that Gen Z and millennials are leading the resurgence in church attendance? That's right. New research out from Glue and Barna as part of the State of the Church initiative shows that Gen Z and millennials are now attending church more regularly than older generations. This is a historic reversal in church trends. And Glue, spelled GLOO, is at the center of all of this. They're the technology platform for the faith ecosystem, connecting you with the latest research, technology, and values-aligned AI that supports churches, and ultimately, human flourishing. Glue is on a mission to serve those who serve, the pastors, leaders, publishers, and more in the faith ecosystem. That's high tech for a higher purpose. You can stay up to date with everything happening at Glue and across the entire faith ecosystem by texting JOIN to 46816. And when you text today, they'll send you the latest research from Glue and Barna about this historic church trend. Again, that's the word JOIN to 46816.
Health insurance rates in America are surging, leaving millions without affordable options. But Christians don't need to waste money on a broken system. Christian Healthcare Ministries is an alternative to health insurance at half the cost. With CHM, fellow believers contribute monthly to help pay each other's medical bills while lifting one another up in prayer. It's financial and spiritual support when you need it most. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
You know, the Bible tells us, I will bless those who bless you. That's not just a nice sentiment, it's biblical prophecy. And it's a commandment from God, it's a calling, and right now we're called to act. The teachings of the New Testament are deeply intertwined with the Hebrew Scriptures. As Christians, we are called to honor and respect this shared heritage. The Apostle Paul reminds us in Romans 11:18, do not consider yourself to be superior to those other branches. If you do, consider this. You do not support the root, but the root supports you. Supporting the people of Israel is more than a belief. It's a biblical mandate. By partnering with the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, IFCJ, we can live out this calling together. Just as the fellowship blesses God's children, we know that you will be blessed too. Learn more about the fellowship and how you can live out your faith, bless Israel, and be blessed in return. Visit ifcj.org today. Again, that's ifcj.org. Be the blessing, live the word, answer the call.
Police dog earns yummy reward from McDonald's when he finds a missing man with dementia. Written by Heather Riggleman, read by Julie Provost. A police dog earns a yummy reward from McDonald's when he finds a missing man with dementia. Sometimes God sends us angels wrapped in fur and wagging tails, reminders that loyalty, joy, and unconditional love can come with a sloppy kiss and a paw pressed against your hand. That's the story of Cruiser, a golden retriever who wears a badge of sorts in Retham, Massachusetts. Officially, Cruiser is the community resource dog for the Retham Police Department. But really, he's a guardian angel in golden fur. On a Thursday not long ago, a 78-year-old man with dementia wandered away from home. Fear gripped the community as searchers spread out to find him. But while many were looking, Cruiser did what only he could do. Nose to the ground, ears perked, heart steady, and cruised straight to the gentleman's location, deep in the woods behind his school. Cruiser can't hide his smile today, Police Chief Bill McGrath said with a grin in his Facebook post. And when you see the pictures, you believe him. That dog looks as though he knows heaven itself was cheering him on. For his good detective work, Cruiser's handler, Sergeant Dan Morris, gave him a reward fit for a hero, a trip to McDonald's. He's happy he did his job, and happier still that Sergeant Morris rewarded him with a trip to McDonald's for a Happy Meal celebration dinner, Bill said. Just look at that big, shameless smile. And isn't it just like God to make creatures who not only protect and serve, but also remind us to celebrate with delight over hamburgers and fries, to design them with hearts turned toward us, to run beside us, comfort us in tears, and sometimes even save lives? And who doesn't love a Happy Meal? Cruiser has been doing that since 2020, when he joined the department as a puppy thanks to a grant and a tender training provided by Golden Opportunities for Independence. He was even named by Retham elementary students, which seems right. Children know how to name joy. Since then, Cruiser has found 2 runaway children in the woods, a missing woman last summer, and now this gentleman, always faithful, always wagging. And between rescues, Cruiser shows up at community events, leans his golden head into someone's lap, and loves a burger just as much as we do. Because maybe that's how God whispers, through fur-covered angels who remind us that life is better when shared. Whether it's a long walk, a hard search, or a simple Happy Meal. Because sometimes God's guardians don't come with wings. Sometimes they come with paws and fluffy fur.
Thank you so much for listening to Story Behind Podcast. We're really glad you joined us for this week's story. To see photos and videos that may have been referenced in this episode, check out the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend about us. We'd also love it if you'd rate us and leave us a review. It really does help more people find us. Story Behind is a Salem Web Network production.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than just money. We help you put your plans into motion and faith into action so you can do more for the ones in your heart. Because sometimes all you need to make a difference is someone to help you make it happen. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.